Web3 Reviews, thank you for being with us. Today, it is Wednesday, April 9th. We're going to be talking about the crypto market. Let's go. Remember that none of this is financial advice. We're going to be doing a deep dive on Hbar today. I recently got into Hbar. I've been following it for years, but I've never done the deep dive necessary. I'm a big fan of Karate Combat, which is being built on top of Hbar. One of the markers I look for in a successful cryptocurrency for the next 5 to 10 years is how many big-time use cases do you have that have fruitful partnerships right now, as well as how many people are building on top of your platform. And we look at a good platform like XRP and the XRPL, and we see acquisitions are being made, partnerships are being had, and people are building. You look at algorand, it's much the same. These are assets that I'm looking into for the next 5 to 10 years. We're talking long-term holds, because when the crypto market as a whole reaches a market cap of 10, 15, 20, $100 trillion, the real assets are going to reap the benefits of all that liquidity being added to the market. It's not going to be the fart coins and the meme coins, which get to experience the benefit of all that money coming into the system. All right, I think that it's going to be the players that are for real that win the biggest, because they're going to be hitting that biggest use case. Hbar is down 10% on the one day. It's sitting at 14.82 cents. It's ranked number 17 out of all 20 million cryptocurrencies in existence by market cap. All time, it's down 64%. It's not a bad entry point when you're down 64% all time. You look at that all-time chart, and I think that we've had a nice retrace here. It looked like we were running up, had the bear trap, we had a retracement. I think we're going to run up again and do something historic. I think we're going to break an all-time high. It reminds me of the XRP chart. It really does. We went up there, we fought around $3. The previous all-time high was $3.50. We never broke it. Might have got really close to touching it. Now we're back down to $1.80, kind of bleeding everybody out who thought they were along for this ride. Market cap of $6.25 billion. Daily trading volume of 490 million. A total supply of 50 billion Hbar with 42.22 billion Hbar circulating right now. And I think that means the Hbar Foundation has about 7.8 billion Hbar, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, maybe they've given it to somebody else, maybe they burned it. I really don't know. This is a part of the deep dive. This is why we're here. Taking note that Hbar, they're a top 5 player, and right now they're a top 20 token by market cap. And it's not too late to hold Hbar. Hbar is down 10% on the day. I think that a good goal is get to 10,000 Hbar. 10,000 Hbar today. What would that cost you? So Hbar is sitting at 14.82 cents. To get 10,000 Hbar, you'd only need $1,500. Gets you 10,000 Hbar. You hold for the next 5 to 10 years. There are half as many tokens as XRP, half as many tokens as the Flare network. 50 billion tokens isn't a bad amount to have. It's not too much when you're dealing with trillion-dollar use cases. You're dealing with use cases that are going to be so big, we can't even wrap our head around it. Think about this. How good is AI and robotics going to be in 10 years? We can't even comprehend it because we're in the first inning. The opportunities are endless. And we got that story yesterday that went viral about the dire wolf. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but the same day the story was broken, there was a Time magazine article about it. How does that happen? So they're all in accordance with the news before it comes out. You guys see what I'm saying? I talk about this a lot in terms of crypto news. Now I'm talking to you about some bullshit. They brought a dire wolf back to life, supposedly. They're doing Jurassic Park shit in real life, all right? And they're bringing wolves back. What could go wrong, right? Sci-fi movie, I know. But the same day that everyone got the news, there was a Time magazine article ready for it. Like, it wasn't like they were next day. Like, Hbar Foundation says yesterday, we're excited to announce CHAINLINK CCIP is now live on Hedera. There's never been a better time to build in the Hedera ecosystem. And this comes off a CHAINLINK announcement. The CHAINLINK standard for cross-chain interoperability is officially live on Hedera mainnet, a member of CHAINLINK Scale via Hbar Foundation. Grok says that this post from the Hbar Foundation announces the integration of CHAINLINK CCIP protocol on Hedera's mainnet, enabling developers to build applications that can transfer tokens and data across 46 plus blockchains, a significant step for Hedera's DeFi and tokenized real-world asset ecosystem. This integration, supported by the Hbar Foundation, builds on a partnership that began in 2021 when CHAINLINK joined Hedera's governing council, with prior integrations like CHAINLINK data feeds already enhancing Hedera's DeFi capabilities since 2024. Now, we know that people are talking about using Flare's FTSOs into CHAINLINK for their data providers. So in a way here, in a Ripple sort of partner of my partner way, Flare could be in on this partnership if we get integrated into CHAINLINK, okay? Because if Hedera is using CHAINLINK's data feeds, and if CHAINLINK's data feeds are coming from Flare's FTSOs, then we can see how this is all integrated. We can see how all of crypto is better off connected. Flare is also boosting the power of the Ethereum virtual machine, which we have a lot of people doing. We see Polkadot and a lot of good L2s building on top of Ethereum. I like what I'm reading about Hbar, okay? I'm sorry to be jumping around assets here. We're talking about Hbar. I just brought up Flare because of the CHAINLINK data feeds. And I haven't done a deep dive on CHAINLINK, but it's obvious that CHAINLINK is a huge part of the crypto ecosystem. CHAINLINK is huge, all right? I've seen talks about CHAINLINK and Flare, CHAINLINK and Ripple.
CHAINLINK and Hbar, okay? CHAINLINK, if they're providing all this use case to crypto companies, which then need that use case to then provide their use case to enterprises, CHAINLINK is going to see massive growth, man. I'm going to have to do a video on CHAINLINK. I think CHAINLINK's valuable. For this announcement aligns with the 20% price surge in Hbar, as reported by Tron Weekly on April 8th, reflecting market optimism about Hbar's expanded interoperability and potential for broader adoption in decentralized application. Like I said, we're so early, we don't even know what this fucking is going to get to. I mean, I remember studying on VeChain back in the day, and VeChain's doing supply chain tracking for this, that, and the third. They're so deep in the supply chain tracking, they're helping China track people down using the Chinese credit score. That's turning you into supply chain. And I don't know if that's true or if they're in with the cameras or not, but imagine it. Imagine if they simply just took you and they matched your face with your social security barcode, with your bank account, and then you were social credit scored. And anytime you jaywalked or anytime you did something wrong on camera, your bank account was negatively hit and it was automatically put in the database of where you were when this happened, why it happened. And if you ever had any questions or quarrels about it, they could just pull up that camera feed of exactly the link to what happened. It's a scary dystopian world, or maybe it's a good dystopian world, because we have this place now where it's all he say, she say. And if you're someone who gets killed, all of a sudden the murderer is the victim because they can say whatever they want about you. It's a crazy world, man. I honestly hate going online sometimes because you go online and you see some fucked up shit. The thing about the world is we're not that far removed from warring tribes who cut off people's heads and put them on sticks. We got more Hbar news. Let the Hbar news keep rolling. We got CHAINLINK integrations. And now, this news from Mark Chadwick. He says, breaking, Hbar Asset Tokenization Studio wins award in Global Finance's Top Innovation in Finance 2025. The awards are for the most innovative banks and fintechs, the top global financial innovations, and the world's best financial innovation labs. The Hedera Asset Tokenization Studio, an open source toolkit that simplifies the configuration, issuance, and management of tokenized securities and equities. Global Finance's audience is 50,000 print circulation and over 500,000 monthly web visitors, and includes senior corporate and financial officers responsible for making investment and strategic decisions at multinational companies and financial institutions. This is an enormous market, and winning this award could lead to mass institutional adoption in the finance industry. Asset tokenization will be a $1 trillion market by 2030. I think it'll be bigger than that. I think asset tokenization will be way bigger than 1 trillion by 2030. But maybe we're back to that old statement that things will take way longer than you'd like, but then we'll go way faster than you'd ever expect. Maybe by 2035 it'll be 100 trillion, but by 2030 it'll just be 1. I don't know. All right, I don't know. But I do like what I'm seeing here, okay? And this is from Global Finance. This is right from their website. Thanks, Mark Chadwick. Great news, buddy. Great news. Another Mark Chadwick. We have people writing bullish articles about the token price. All right, we're sitting at 15 cents. To get to $2.25 would be a nice jump, man. And look at what we've done. Look at the use case we've set up. Look at the partnerships we've made. Look at the people building on top of us. Look at Karate Combat. Get in the pit, dog. Meanwhile, Cosmic has this to say. Hbar Death Cross completing in a few days. A big drop is coming. So this is what I'm saying about TA, man. You can bend your ruler however you'd like. All right? That's it. I mean, that's the deal with TA is I could sit here and I could read you Cosmic's TA. I could sit here and read you Mark Chadwick doing his TA. It's neither here nor there to me, man. It's neither here nor there. Okay? Oh, no way. You look up Hbar on Twitter and I pop up from 6 days ago. I say XRP is going to moon. So is Hbar, Algo, Flare, and GALA. With this great video from Marshawn Lynch. This video is really popular in pop culture, so I'm going to play it for you. Because it's important that I can reference this in the future.
That's when it just clicked in my mind that if you just run through somebody's face, a lot of people ain't going to be able to take that over and 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 over. And over and over and over and over and over again. They're just not gonna want that.
Think there's a deeper metaphor there?
Run through a motherfucker face, then you don't have to worry about them no more.
You want to get rich in crypto? Do what Marshawn said, but apply it to buying crypto. And do it for good assets. Don't be buying the fart coins of the world. I never buy meme coins. I don't buy pop culture tokens. I don't buy sexual innuendos. I don't buy anything named after animals. Sorry, crow. You can be the best asset in the world. I'm not going to even look at you. You're named after a crow. It goes against my rules. And maybe I'm going to miss some good plays because I'm following some rules. But you got to follow something, man. You got to believe in something. I've been here for 8 years now, okay? Hbar is on my list of one of the most powerful assets in the crypto space. And I have just started my accumulation. What should that say to you? You are not too late, all right? We are here before things really get spicy. And look at what Craig O Podcast says. Hbar isn't blockchain, it's Hashgraph. No mining, no blocks, just speed, security, and scale. Tagging HBAR because this one's for the builders. HBAR fam, sound off below. Now, HBAR Hub says actually it's open source. In fact, the source code belongs to Hyro, part of the Linux Foundation for Development. Another comment on this open source deal. Swizzle says, just to know, this is fully open source. HBAR even donated the entire code to the Linux Foundation. Grok goes on to say that Hedera Hashgraph's technology is fully open source with its entire code donated to the Linux Foundation under the Apache 2.0 license. Apache helicopters, baby, they're powerful. You don't want to see that fucking Apache pulling up, all right? And that's where we're at with HBAR. If you any other asset, bro, you don't want to see the Apache pull up, dog. It's like if you're in a Chrysler and you're like, yeah, buddy, I feel like I'm in the Rolls. It's an old Cat Williams joke. I'm reusing Cat's jokes. Thanks, Cat. And Cat says, yeah, you think you're in the Rolls, bro. You know, you feel great. You're in that wide body until the Rolls pulls up. And then you're like, I don't even want to be here. That's how it is when you're dealing with assets like XRP, Algo, and HBAR. If you're trying to go after enterprise solutions and you think you're talking to a company and things are going well, and then you see your competitor walk through the door and it's damn HBAR, Algo, or XRP, you're realizing that you're a little bit outmatched, all right? You see who the chick who you want, who she wants. And he's buff and he's rich. How am I going to compete with that? Because I got jokes. How good could the jokes be? Okay. Grok goes on. HBAR, unlike traditional blockchain, uses a consensus mechanism that avoids mining in blocks, enabling 10,000 transactions per second with fees as low as 0.4 of a penny. All right. So listen, I want to know more. So here's what I'm saying to Grok. Tell me about Linux Foundation owning all the HBAR code. That sounds powerful. It reminds me of the World Wide Web Consortium protecting the protocol of the internet at MIT. Talk to me. Because for those who don't know, www is just a protocol. HTTPS, : // These are protocols that we all agree upon. And if you're going to be on the internet, you're going to abide by these protocols. And MIT has kind of been the protector, if you will, of these protocols. They've been the hoster of them. They've been holding them, maintaining them for all these years. Somebody else can speak to this better than I. The World Wide Web Consortium. And that's at MIT, if I'm not mistaken. This is why when Gary became the guy at SEC, we all thought it'd be okay. He taught a course at MIT on crypto. And MIT was such an integral part of OG web development. We just assumed that this was the next leg up for crypto. Oh, dude, USA is finally entering its crypto phase. And this is going to be Web 3. And it's going to boost Web 2. And everyone's going to benefit from this. Even financial institutions are now going to be able to offer people APYs that DeFi institutions will. We know they're getting it. They're taking your money and they're getting a better APY than what they're getting you. That's how they're in business. Okay? Hedera Hashgraph transferred its entire code base, including the Hashgraph consensus algo, to the Linux Foundation. This move placed the code under the Linux Foundation's decentralized trust initiative as Project Hero, making it open source and vendor neutral. Hedera's native cryptocurrency HBAR powers its proof-of-stake distributed ledger technology, DLT, which is known for high throughput, low latency, transactions settled under 3 seconds, and energy efficient. Hedera claims to be carbon negative. The Linux Foundation, a nonprofit founded in 2000, is a powerhouse in open source software, initially focused on the Linux kernel, but now hosting a wide range of projects, including blockchain initiatives like Hyperledger. By taking ownership of Hedera's codebase, the Linux Foundation opens it up to a massive developer community. Grok says posts on X mention around 800,000 active developers contributing weekly. This could accelerate innovation, foster interoperability with other DLTs, and enhance trust through transparency and neutral governance. This move feels powerful because the Linux Foundation already plays a massive role in tech infrastructure. The Linux kernel underpins cloud computing, supercomputers, Internet of Things, and billions of smartphones, as noted in a 2022 MIT Technology Review article. Adding Hedera's cutting-edge DLT to their portfolio positions the foundation as a key player in shaping Web3, the next evolution of the internet. All right, now comparing this to the World Wide Web Consortium and the internet protocols back in the day. Founded in 1994, the W3C, founded by Tim Berners-Lee at MIT, the W3C is the international community responsible for the development of web standards, protocols, and guidelines. Its mission to ensure the long-term growth and accessibility of the World Wide Web by creating standards that make the web open, interoperable, and user-friendly. So like I said, HTTP, HTTPS, HTML, CSS, and emerging standards for Web3 technologies, such as decentralized identifiers, DIDs, and verifiable credentials. You know where I just saw that? ARCBLOCK. ARCBLOCK is working on both those things. Decentralized identifiers and verifiable credentials. We're going to have to go back and research some ARCBLOCK, man. ARCBLOCK just put themselves in the same category as HBAR, Algo, XRP. Holy shit, man. And I know Smoke Dog's saying IOTA's up there too. The more you look into this, the more you see these phrases, DLT, DID, verifiable credentials. These are huge. These are words of interoperability. You see the tokens that are running on this. You see what Grok's saying. We're going to see multiple DLT technologies which integrate with one another. You know who else is running on DLT? It's XRP. Ever since I've been in crypto, that's what I've been hyper focused on. But now I'm looking at that Hashgraph ledger, baby. Let's go. It's never too late to get into something. You look at the HBAR chart, it's a great time to get in. The W3C is increasingly involved in Web3 technologies which align with Hedera's mission. For instance, the W3's Decentralized Identifier DID working group is developing standards for DIDs, which are crucial for decentralized identity systems, a use case Hedera supports through its consensus service. Hedera's integration with the Linux Foundation could amplify this work, as the Foundation's developer community might contribute to the W3C's aligned projects, ensuring Web3 protocols are interoperable with existing Web3 standards. So interoperability in Web3 is huge, okay? Both the Linux Foundation and W3C rely on global developer communities to drive innovation. There's neutral governance. The Linux Foundation's control over Hedera's codebase is powerful because it positions the Foundation as a key player in Web3's evolution, much like the World Wide Web Consortium has been for the web. I'm not just drawing at strings here, man. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, all right? HBAR is powerful. You're going to want some HBAR. Zach with Web3 Reviews. Thank you for being here. Until next time.